Alright folks, going to be building the cab for a war rig today. Well, over the next couple of days, you know, time and stuff. So I'll drill this apart. So a couple of things first for this. Don't need that. Need part of that. Don't need that. Keep the wheels for a second. Going to use this, which I've already drilled out. It's going to go there somehow. Somewhere in there. I've got some 3D printed wheels. Ooh. Exhaust to go there. Choo-choo. And a couple of decal machine guns, which I'm probably going to put either side here, just as like fixed front facing. I'll keep this cab bit because it's pretty cool. I'm going to be cutting this grill off as well so I can go back to the cab. I need these two fuel tanks off of here, and possibly the step. So the step is now in the wrong place, so inside the step. So what I'm going to do is obviously swap the wheels out. I'll build basically I'm going to take this apart, lose the wheels off this and the running gear, and then I'll build a platform to raise this up. The width-wise, I've got this crap out, get it out. Width-wise, we're pretty much there for sitting inside. Obviously, the height of the wheels interfere here, so what I'm going to do, get off. What I'm probably going to do is raise it up slightly and move it forward, so this edge is over the top of the front bumper. That way I can keep the buffers on there as well, which would be pretty cool. But the other part of me thinks I might as well just do it all in line, because it makes it a nice flat front. That hook's already missing anyway, so flatten that off, and I can paint hazard stripes on this obviously because it's just chrome for hazard stripes. And I can get that bottom grille piece, so just have to extend it up. Not as high as that obviously, probably about there. So all I really need to do is build like a skirt, work out the height, step it in all the way around, brace it with some box sections just to raise this up. Then I'm going with these wheels with the cutters on. These are 3D printed, they only print one way, so all the tread runs the same way, so unfortunately, no, you can't really tell. Maybe you can tell now, I've told you, that's a bit silly, wasn't it? But these are the same size as the wheels that are already on there, so I just have to make axles. And like I say, this little exhaust, North Star's going to go on there to make it, excuse me, a taller exhaust. Mesh the windows on the cab, obviously, etc. And then obviously I've got the trailer. This is the trailer that came with it. I think what I'll probably do is I've got a big fuel tanker trailer from, that's like a Matchbox Super Kings. I might use that. I was going to mount this on a Matchbox Super Kings base, but I decided that this one's cooler. Excuse me, I'm very tired. And any bits I don't use, just go in my bits box. Like the engine and the exhaust pipes and stuff will go in my bits box. Cab's already snapped off when I drilled it. And then obviously with this bed back bit, it sort of lines up anyway. So that's handy. I'm only going to have to make the raised bit as high as this back piece, so I'll use that as a measure, go off that, build it and line up. I might square this off so I can make it all in one piece all the way along, but I'll do that time lapse anyway. So that's the plan, so I'll get cracking. We'll go to time lapse next. Alright then folks, there we are so far. Got the wheels on. This thing's slammed on the deck, which I quite like. That's the wrong lid for the wrong super glue. Obviously made some axle tubes. A little bit big since I've used quite a lot of super glue. Really out of alloy. Oh, that's brass I think. So I need to make another order with Albion alloys, which is where I get all my brass tubing from. You can get it off eBay. Panelled out all the windows. I'm going to add some rivets to these. Mesh on the front of the cab. So not much else I can do to the cab. I can seal that off then. And glue these two together, which I've just done. Some 3D printed wheels are on. It's pretty cool, obviously. With that sort of trailer. Sorry about the noise, I've got my fan on. This trailer won't fit now, which is cool because it sits too far forward because of the cab. Wasn't really planning on using that trailer anyway. If I do use it, I'd move it to here. At the moment we're just doing the build on the cab part of it. So you need that all to dry. And I'll panel across the front here, match this up. Maybe add an angle to make it flow better. Do some paneling on the sides here to hide that. Fuel tanks. Might just use my 3D printed barrels like I normally do. Cut out a piece to panel under here. And that's all that chassis work, joining work hidden. My phone's got low battery, of course it has. Yeah, exhaust, guns, details, rivets, plates, etc. And that's it for the cab. It's not a vastly difficult build. The aesthetic and the look's exactly how I want it to be. May add a ladder as we're sitting quite high off the deck at the moment. But yeah, I just want to do something a bit different. It's always nice to do something a bit different. So yeah, I'm going to leave that to dry. And then when I come back, we'll be doing some tie-nuts. I'll be hiding some of these crimes, as they say. Doing some rivets and some details. Adding all the little greeblies and stuff that always make these sort of things work. I try and get some lights, not this winch front bumper because it looks a bit crap, but I may try and get some front bumpers or some... that could work. That might work as like a... cut the two bottom eyelets off, drop it down a bit. Just as an extra bit. We'll see. I've got loads of bits kicking about, so make something out of the bits. I said I had the exhaust probably second from last, and the guns quite near the end because I don't want to knock them off as I'm doing stuff. I was going to go gun either side here. I'll probably put a gun either side on this side because there's horns there. I don't want to block that. I think it would look aesthetically better if I cut these two out, these two heavy guns around one either side, like that. I do have another set. Quad would be quite cool, but then I'll be blocking these inspection hatches for the diesel engine. So it's probably going to be one aside, about there, firing forward. Still look cool as cool can be. I'm not going to overarm it. I was going to put a turret on it or something like that, or like a go on the top. I like that riveted pattern. I'm not going to go as small or as close to the rivets that I do. I've got this super fine bar, but it's a little bit bigger than those rivets, but it should all work well together. Like everything, it's all an experiment. And a couple of cars I worked on today is this one. I've got this one as well. It's got like a lowrider headlight machine guns, a little screen I've built, sunscreen. And I've got this police badged up 32 Ford. The taping's really rough because I'm going to blend it in anyway with sponge. I just want to go a base coat over everything else. Add the flamethrower, dice paint against flamethrower, and a Cam2 Designs air filter to 32 Ford. Came from my mate Mark, so I smashed it about with a file a bit to give some texture. I want to keep that because it makes a good law buggy, obviously because it's got the police decals on the side. I haven't put a light bar on it because I've got the flamethrower on the top. You can't tell it's them coming then. But yeah, it's a little buggy, always cool. I go my other law stuff. The right colour scheme anyway, black and white, that's how I want the colour scheme to be. Also picked up, also got sent to me this week by a friend on Facebook. There's this high patrol car, theoretically almost it's a Matchbox Crown Vic, if you want to know, pretty decent front ram and everything. I'm going to take it apart, I'm going to rough it up a bit, and I'll probably sponge over the black and part of the white just to blend it all together like I normally do. Keep the light bar on the top. It's going to be a real easy law build on this, but it's too good to pass up, like a Crown Vic with the light bar and stuff on it already. Yeah, mesh the windows, armour plate the back and the side windows, so I just cut them out and rivet them. That'd be Going to do a law build video anyway, so that could be a quite quick and easy one. Okay, next time you see me again, or I'm talking, it'll be after the next bit of time lapse when I'm doing all the details. Pretty close to us going to paint. Cool. Right then, so this is where we're at now. Got some detail on the side, mostly just bits of plastic card stuff. Got this piece in this side as well, so it's a little bit straighter. I'm not too bothered about total symmetry all around, so the guns are equal, because that really annoys me otherwise. Got this exhaust stack on. I was going to put this on the front, but it looks crap now, so I'm boring it off. I might put something on here, I haven't decided yet. Anyway, most of it's down just to rivets now. I'm not going to film it, I'm not going to time lapse me cutting rivets, because I've done rivets on a couple of videos now and it's just tedious. I'm not going to do it all in one sitting. I tend to do one side and leave it to dry, move on to the other side. I have to get my head really close, so I won't be filming that bit, that's for sure. Ooh, just not the camera. Yeah, it's coming together nice. Like I say, it's a bit, does look like it's got tiny little wheels now, but I quite like it. Big old heavy thing, like all this boxwork underneath. Once I've added some rivets and stuff, so put some tubing on, some tubing there, just to add something to it. It's going to have like a proper dirty, like a black and then dirty finish on it, so any crimes I've created on the way around is going to hide. These two little foot bit things, I'm actually going to leave them there. I was going to take them off, they were obviously for the cab on the other truck, the original truck. And I was thinking about cutting these pipes off, but these fuel tanks off, but no, Bertha, no. So no, I won't. So yeah, put a little plate on the back here. That's really wonky, but I don't mind that. Let's put some rivets on it. I may put like a couple of patch plates. I've got some plastic cards kicking about, so I might put like a couple of patch plates on there. Maybe one or two on the engine itself or the cab, just to look like it's been worked on at some point. I was thinking about putting a guard across the front of this, but I don't think I will, to be honest. It's meant to put a big trailer. That's the whole point of having a diesel loco on there. Yeah, and then I was thinking about putting an extra set of wheels in the front, but buoyed that off as well now. It's fine like it is. It's well out of scale and stuff, which is the whole point as well. You know me, I like to have a good laugh at it. I was going to remove these buffers on the back as well, but I decided not to, just for the lulz. That's annoying, it's slightly wonky. I'm not that bothered. You know me, I like my builds to have a bit of character to them. I have noticed though, this was like £1. I got a steam loco as well. This has actually got rust bubbles underneath the surface in places, which is cool as cool can be. So I'm going to chip it up a bit with a piece of sandpaper and a couple of files to get a weathered look. I'll do that on all the plastic as well. Maybe add a couple of bullet holes in my drill, just to give it that look. Pretty happy with that. As it is, that's pretty much the final shape now. Didn't take very long. What time pissing about and talking and stuff like that, the actual building. So yeah, rivets next. A few other little details. and then I'll come back once it's primed, because you don't need to see it before I prime it. It looks the same either way, doesn't it? Alright then, cool. Alright then, bosh. Nah, balls. Nah, I feel it. Matte black, primed it, priming paint matte black, but I've missed some angles. That's a really bad bend there. Not really that bothered. It's not wonky. I think this back casing's wonky. It's throwing my eye because yeah, I'm not bothered. So yeah, I riveted the absolute toffee out of it. Missed a rivet there, not too bothered. All them rivets along the bottom, all them rivets across the front, a couple there, a couple underneath there, which are the right pig to put in. A few down this side here. Here we go. So choo choo, mofos, choo choo. I've noticed obviously before that I've got a slight problem with my trailer hitch because it's there. If I use this trailer, which I don't know, I'm warming to it because it's square and it's be easier to muck about with. I use this car for example. I can stick, if I wanted to, I can stick car there or put like a couple of cars on the top. So I probably will use this trailer just to keep it all. I like to keep it all the same stuff. Obviously I changed the rear wheels for the same spiky wheels. I might add a second set of axles as well, to be honest, because I think that would benefit from a pair of axles. One here and one slightly more inboard. And then with the fact that I'm going to move the pivot point, or the tow hooks are here, it extends the overall length of it. So when it's compared to like this 32 Ford, that lead sled there, it's not a lead sled, it's like a Safine. It's a lead sled basically, isn't it? Yeah, so lengthwise, and the trailer's 2 car lengths basically. And the whole vehicle's 1 to 3 car lengths almost. So size-wise, that seems to fit for me. War rig-wise, I've got a war rig that a friend of mine on Facebook sent me. Thanks, James. So that's about the same sort of length. This is a cool ass war rig as well. I'm saying about me painting it, it's had loads of texture to it. I love it. I don't want to touch it though. Excuse me, I just fired. I don't want to touch it though. My cat's been laying near it. The sun was. Yeah, he said about me painting it, but I really don't want to. I like it exactly as it is. This is the thing, stuff people make and send to you. You start mucking about with it, it doesn't become yours. So yeah, war rig wise, they're about the same length. This is cool. It's got a 32 Ford. I think that's probably a Kenworth cab, like a Matchbox. Is it a Matchbox? No, it's a Hot Wheels. It is a Kenworth. And a Roadstar. Yes, that's all Hot Wheels, I think. Properly clever, properly good. Love it. Thanks, buddy. So yeah, so size-wise, spot on with choo-choo train with the twin 50s. I mean, beast mode, and it's got that real nice. That's what I like about it. It's got that nice little scoop on it. I've made the front real diesel loco flat. The point of the tubes on the sides of this, if you look at old trains in particular, I'm not necessarily like a train spotter, but I like a train, especially like old diesel rolling stock or like the old steam stuff. There's always like random tubes and pipes and thingies everywhere. That's why I've kept them tubes rather than fill the ends and ease. And when I paint it, you don't really notice. But yeah, so, and rivets, especially on diesel stuff. See that rust I was saying before, so obviously I'm going to have to make that rusty. Not sure what colour I'm going to paint this. I could go 1 or 2 ways. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, so next thing will be time lapse of me painting this. Trailer will keep for a different video probably, because I'm trying to keep things separate. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do next. Is I'm pretty sure that chassis's got a bend in it. That's really bugging me now. I think this little like, gooseneck thing is an optical illusion. But let's get right on my Allens. Let's get right on my Allenses. Yeah. So anyway, no silly voice, James. So yeah, that's the next thing, is painting, which we're doing time lapse. So see you in the time lapse, people. Alright then, so I didn't time lapse all of that because after I started doing the black I realised it would just drag on and on. So I've done black cross hatching on the back here, or check hatch lines, sorry. Black hatch lines on the front here, red buffers, painted these tubes red, and then done the chrome part on this little horn red, done the chrome parts with this gunmetal from Army Painter. So next for me to do is, I'm not going to paint this undercarriage part. Oh, that's a bit. Just getting that. Just tidied that up. Didn't realise I still had green down there. Well, like bluey green, incubi darkness. Yeah. So next thing to do, sorry, I'm well out of frame there, is that red's quite bright, so I'm going to be weathering the hell out of this anyway, because the name for this is going to be Swamp Ghost, which is like a, got some nose art decals I'm going to probably put across here if they fit. I might not. If it doesn't fit, then I'll name this something else, and I'll do like a handwritten name across there. But yeah, I'm going to weather it anyway, so I'll do that first. But I'm going to dry brush this undercarriage part, like the chassis and all this part I've added on here with all these rivets in like a silver, like Necron silver Citadel dry brush, but super light. What I tend to do if I want it light is I'll do the silver, then I'll go over it with like a grey, just to get the detail out and it's not to be too silver. Obviously I'm going to be rusting some of these rivets, or the majority of these rivets. I'm going to be adding, and after I've done the dry brush, I'm going to add like a sepia wash to the whole vehicle, everything, the whole lot. I won't film that because that's just dull. It's just a wash, and then we'll come back once that's dry. I may time lapse the dry brush. I may dry brush some of the other surfaces as well, because obviously the green's a bit plain at the moment, but it's coming out nice. I'm liking it. See, the part of the yellow paint is the dry brush, then I'll be going over it with a lighter yellow. Probably go over the greeny blue colour again a little bit in places. Same with the red, a little bit with the sponge. I painted that on, that's why you can see the brush marks in it, but once I've gone over it with a sponge, you won't notice that. So yeah, I'm going to dry brush around here, this part here where the fifth wheel is. Try and avoid getting any dry brush on these tyres, or I'll just paint them out again. It's not really a biggie. I've also painted out the windows black. I'll dry brush in there, so like armour plating. We'll do that on time lapse, and then we'll come back after that. Hello folks, it's literally just about to start thundering and lightning, so if I suddenly turn off, it's because it's let out a big bada boom. But yeah, so as you just saw in the last bit of time lapse I was just doing, I've gone over the greeny blue with a sort of a dry brush slash stippling coat of blue, over the yellow with a lighter yellow, and then off camera I've retouched up the black, the red, the gunmetal colour, and the black on the tyres as well. Did a stippling effect on the red just to get rid of some of those brush strokes, make it look a bit more haggardy. Next thing really on this, sorry I went off camera again, sorry. Next thing on this is to see about putting some decals or like a name on this. So I was going to use 2 seconds because I'm not pre-prepared. I was going to use, I've got some Swamp Ghost decals, where are they? There they go. I was going to use these decals, Swamp Ghost ones. I've sort of almost cut through one of them. But it's a bit tall, so I don't think I will. But I've got some other ones. I think I've got some Beast decals somewhere. It just literally just says The Beast. If not, I might graffiti something on there. I've got some graffiti pens coming tomorrow that I've seen other people use. I just popped through them on Amazon. They weren't very expensive. And obviously, tomorrow's Wednesday. when the Red Baron video drops, which is now edited and ready to go. But also tomorrow is when I finish filming the, well, I'll probably finish this video tonight, finish the rest of the video for my 3D printer, which came over the weekend. So I got ended up buying a Edigo Mars, and all the accessories and stuff. I haven't set it up yet or done anything with it. I've literally just unboxed it and cleared a space for it. So yeah, we might see it. You'll see a couple of 3D printer videos, especially my first impressions of one. I'm going to print something, etc. But anyway, back to this event. So I quite like it without any decals, but I asked everyone on Facebook on the Gaslands UK page. We had a good discussion about it. So what I'm going to do though is obviously I'm going to use my weathering powders, my Tammy Weathering Masters, to give it a good going over. I'm about to drop a few quid on some new weathering gear from AK Interactive. I'm just going to place an order tonight. I might get some stuff from MIG as well, Ammo by MIG. Haven't decided. I quite like AK Interactive stuff. A lot of people I watch on YouTube and follow on other social media use it. So thought I might give it a go, see what it's like, see if it suits me. They're not in the UK, but the shipping's pretty fair, and it doesn't take a vast amount of time to come here, even at the moment with all that's going on. So yeah, next thing, that's annoying. I'm gonna have to touch in that black in that window, but I might just use some soot. Add some soot. So I've got my old favourites. This is running out, this orange rust. So I use this on every bloody thing. I was gonna do like lots of rust streaks, which I still might do. I've got some rust, Humbrol rust wash that I use for streaks normally. I just mix in a bit of rust pigment. So I may do some streaks as well. I'm gonna do my normal, where I wear it down with the oil stain, the soot and the dark rust. Keep my orange rust for the last coat round, so I'll do those. Bit of burnt blue on this blue as well, just to give it some contrast. And then I'll decide whether I'm going to do rust streaks or not. But you'll see that in the time lapse anyway. All right, cool. There we go, folks, all finished. Came out really well. I'm going to be doing the trailer next. That'll be a separate video. This video is about 30 minutes long now. I need to finish editing it. And I forgot to take these last bit of video, which is clever of me. Yeah, went with a sort of semi old school British rail shunter paint scheme, the bluey green and the yellow. But obviously then went with the black for the lower half with a lot of silver, dry brushing and rusty rivets, etc. Red buffers, and then like the black hazard stripe style things. A little bit of gold on the numerals on the side and the badge on the front. But yeah, it came out perfect. Like it a lot. So like I said, the trailer's next. I'm going to be using the trailer that this came with, so the bone shaker decal up trailer, and change it a bit, possibly add a second axle. So cameras. I've got to hold my tripod because it, oh maybe not. But I had to hold it. Yeah, so the trailer's up next. The next video of this pair, I'm going to add a second set of wheels. These wheels are too far back, it's a bit small as well. So we do something to change it up. Might add something train-like to it as well. Was going to put an oil tanker trailer on it. I might still do that. I haven't decided really, if I'm honest. But if not, I'll use that hot rod one, like the bone shaker one, and I'll jazz it up a bit. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I shall see everyone next time.